The most important thing for the American people to realize and understand is no one is above the law. Not the President of the United States or not. This, for me, has nothing to do with politics. People say, well, you didn't want to do it because you would jeopardize some of your members. It had nothing to do with politics, nothing to do with partisanship. It's only about patriotism.
Welcome back to Harvard. That was House Speaker Nancy Pelosi last night, just hours after the House voted to formalize the public phase of the impeachment inquiry into President Trump. Members of Congress are now back to their districts for a week-long recess where they'll make the case for impeachment directly to their people at home. As a new poll shows, the public continues to be divided. A Washington Post ABC News poll just out this week before the House vote showed 49% of Americans say President Trump should be impeached and removed from office. 47% say he should not. President Trump is floating a new idea, by the way, of how he'd like to make his case to the American people. He told the Washington Examiner, quote, at some point I'm going to sit down, perhaps as a fireside chat on live television, and I will read the transcript of the call because people have to hear it. When you read it, it's a straight call. Joining me right now is my colleague Rachel Maddow, host of The Rachel Maddow Show on MSNBC and the author of Blowout: Corrupted Democracy, Rogue State Russia, and the richest, most destructive industry on earth. Rachel, my friend, thank you so much. We'll get to that book in depth in the next segment.
Great to see you, my friend.
Thank you. I never know when you're going to wear the glasses, but this must be for real tonight. But this is great. Let's get serious then. First of all, a little frivolous question. Trump as FDR in front of the fireside, warming the cockles of the hearts of the American people, but in this case, defending himself against impeachment.
You know, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the freshman congresswoman from New York who has such an incredible mastery of social media, she responded to the president's announcement that he was going to do this thing. And he tweeted in all caps, read the transcript. Her response to that online was, we did read the transcript. That's why we started impeachment proceedings. And I checked just before I got online, and I think that's got something like 340,000 likes at this point, 40,000 retweets. I mean, the idea that the transcript is going to be his way out of this, when the transcript is literally what led Nancy Pelosi to open the impeachment proceedings, I don't know. Sometimes I can follow his logic. And this one, I don't get it.
What do you think of Pelosi in these last several weeks, especially her strategy, her thinking, her leadership?
Nancy Pelosi knows her caucus and has never, as far as I can tell, ever been caught out with the behavior of her caucus surprising her. I mean, we've both been following her for years. I can't think of a single vote, particularly a single major vote, where things didn't go the way she intended them to go and the way she knew them to go. And so I feel like she's not ever going to be out there crusading for her caucus to do something that they might not do. She's only ever in front when she knows she's already got them behind her. And when she can lead from a position of confidence and strength because she knows where the people are, because she's got them there. So I feel like watching Nancy Pelosi right now, I'm less interested in sort of figuring out what she might want or what she might be, what might be her own analysis of the political impact of this impeachment. I feel like watching her tells you what the Democrats are going to do because she's never wrong about her own folks.
Yeah, I think she's got a great listening network out there of people who tell her what people are thinking. Yeah. Anyway, Thursday's House vote, that was yesterday, was almost entirely along party lines. Every single Republican voted against the resolution. The Washington Post poll shows the public is just as divided along party lines. Catch these numbers. 82% of Democrats say President Trump should be impeached. 82% of Republicans say he should not. The symmetry, the mirror imaging of this is, I guess... I live in Maryland, you live in Massachusetts and New York. I know we all live in different geographies, but I do know people, though, relatives, who just will not give. How do you account for that? Well, evidence is not moving people.
I think that it's important to recognize where we are in the process. I mean, they're going to move to their public hearings now, and they believe that they have what we know about how they're planning the public hearings right now is that they're taking witnesses who they've already heard from behind closed doors. They're selecting some of them, and they're going to put them in front of the public with staff questioning them in a way that is designed not only to elicit information. They've already got that in the depositions. They could just take that information from the depositions and put it in their report if they wanted to. But they're going to pick the witnesses that they want, who they believe can tell this story to the American people. And if people are paying attention to the impeachment, if people are watching the way the evidence is laid out, I think the idea is that honest people will be persuadable. I think the president will have his defenders forever, no matter what he does, even if he does shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue. But the impeachment process is designed to be one that persuades the public. And that hasn't really started yet.
You know, I said last night in introducing the fact you'd be on tonight, Rach, that you and Pelosi have one great strength, well, one clear strength in common. You're both teachers. And I think the way you go about your business, her statecraft, your tradecraft, are very illustrative of how things ought to work and how people ought to think and report.
Thank you.
I think I want to ask you this question. Are people learning right now about our Constitution? Are they learning?
Yes. Well, I think so. I mean, I don't know that I have my finger on the pulse of anybody other than myself, and I'm not even sure how well I know myself sometimes. But through our own process of, reporting on and trying to explain this presidency for the past 2+ years, I feel like, boy, have I learned a lot about, the federal court system. Boy, have I learned a lot about, foreign influence operations. Boy, have I learned a lot about the FBI and the CIA and presidential scandal and the ways that, witnesses can be compelled or not. I mean, there's so many aspects of this presidency that we've had to learn in detail simply because it's been scandal after scandal after scandal after scandal. And we have to learn it just to stay up on what's going on. Now, at the same time, our democratic processes are under direct attack from the president in a way that we've never seen in U.S. history before. And I think that's making us learn about them, if only to understand what it is that's threatened. And so this is a time for for civic dedication, to be dedicated to learning what our own responsibilities are as citizens and to pay attention to what's happening right now. This is not a time where you can just let the news wash over you.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.